business as usual. Let's go rock out.
It's what you want. You just want guys, because things are going to happen at a football game that aren't going your way. So you just have to just move on to the next play. And you guys preach that all the time about snap at a time, drive at a time. And that was a good sign from there. First safety recorded by Husker football since 2009. I couldn't believe it when I saw that stat, but that was a nice play by the guys inside. How about 15 years since Nebraska's had a safety?
15 years, huh? That's craziness. I had no idea. And then, like you said, somebody spotted off the stat, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Again, just nice job of the guys going out there and executing.
Coach said Monday in his presser he thought it was one of Ty Robinson's better games. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and, you know, it's really fun to watch those older guys when they can turn it loose and take it to another level. You know, when we had first got here, you had seen Ty on film and you saw the flashes of potential and, you know, just a different scheme and different way, you know, those guys were being used. And then guys like him, Jamari and Nash, you know, coming over and really giving them a chance to turn loose and to use their athletic ability to get on edges and get up the field and stuff like that. And so, you know, they have that success last year, and then they have a whole off season. Ty decides to come back, and those guys really, you know, getting themselves bigger, stronger, faster, more instinctive, knowing the defense and everything. And then to go out there, trust their training, trust in the process, and then go out on the grass and perform the way they did. You know, it was fun to watch him celebrate with his teammates.
Only one sack, but the way UTEP kind of got rid of the ball in a hurry, it wasn't a game that was going to lend itself to many sacks, was it?
No, you know, we compared them to Louisiana Tech from last year, and we knew that, you know, they knew we had an advantage up front. So when you go back and look at the game, they got rid of the ball really fast. They cut block a lot of perimeter game, and I think we had no sacks in that game last year from La Tech.
That's right.
And so we kind of had the feeling that they were going to do the same thing. So, again, the guys did a great job. You know, it's funny, Ty, you know, on that one with the quarterback, he hits the quarterback. He comes to me 2 days ago, and he's like, Coach, why isn't that a sack? And so I'm like, you know what, I don't know. I gotta go ask. So I asked, you know, Keith Mann, and I said, hey, they're running an RPO out there. There was actual routes that they ran, and Ty just got back there so fast that they didn't have a chance to throw it. So I know they were going back and seeing if that would count as a sack. So hopefully it gets changed, and hopefully there's 2 sacks. You know?
I'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
I remember that play, and you're right. That's a good observation, and good for Ty. Standing up for himself.
Oh, man. He's saying he was sure to come up to me and say, Coach, why isn't this a sack? You know, so I don't know. Let's find out. So.
Oh, that's great. Well, this team, and we knew going into the game that they were going to make you tackle in space. How about the tackling, and how did you feel like your guys handled that?
Yeah, you know, that's always the question, right? You know, you come from fall camp, and, you know, you feel like you got a good grasp. You feel like you're working it, and you feel like, okay, you got a sense of, okay, we're going to go in and tackle well. But like you said, G-Man, those kind of offenses, that's what they thrive on, right? They want to throw a pass out there for no gain, make a guy miss, and take it 15, 20 yards, you know? So it was really, really, really good to see the guys track the near hip. It was really good to see guys try to use dominant contact. There's a couple plays, you know, it's a football game, there's a couple plays here or there that got away from us, but again, those things are good stepping stones to being a really good defense. You got to tackle well, right? You got to tackle well. You got to track near hip, and you got to use dominant contact around here. So it was a good start.
Coach White with us for the hour. It's our football show for the week. If you want to fire off a text question for the coach, 402-413-2400, or if you're on our YouTube chat room, you can pop something in there. I'll keep an eye on that chat as well. Huskers getting ready for their second home game in a row. Colorado will be here Saturday night. 4 straight home games to start the year. 9 games in Memorial Stadium are so special. We'll talk more about Colorado as we get deeper into this game. Other guys who maybe coached that stood out to you Saturday night. I mentioned Ty played really well. Mm-hmm. Who else kind of caught your attention when you went back and maybe watched the tape? Oh, man.
You know what? Let's start up front. Man, I thought Kai Wallen did a really nice job. Yeah. He had a nice quarterback pressure on the interception. You know, had bull rush the tackle back into the quarterback. Quarterback's line of sight was blurry, so he threw the ball, and Malcolm picked it off. Riley Van Poppel had some nice mess charges in there. Trying to think here, linebacker Mekhi Bayer did a really nice job. You know, on the safety, got asked a question if he was blitzing or whatnot, and he wasn't. You know, he was just playing read and react football. So he You know, he saw the guard step down, or he saw zone block, he saw run. So you kind of see him dip his shoulder and accelerate through the play. And he's the one actually that him and Nash were the ones that I think created the pile there for the guy to not get out of the end zone. You know, that caused the safety. So I thought he had a really good game. He was excited to play. You know, Keith Buford, the one play down on the sideline, man. You know, he's one-on-one. They throw a go ball. Really easy, especially early in the season, you know, timing and all that stuff. Easy have been a pass interference, but again, another guy, trusted his training. A lot of the, you know, he's put in that position a lot by Coach Butler and the defensive back staff. And so it was really cool to see him go out there and use his training and break up the ball like it was nothing. You know, having played safety all last year too. So him doing that at that corner. And then Malcolm, obviously, you know, it was good to see him bounce back because, again, miscommunication, didn't get the call into the guy, so they're scrambling around, you know, and then he gets the ball thrown over the top of him, you know, and so that, like with any football player, you know, it bugs him. Came off on the side, be like, hey, don't worry about it, And for him to put himself in position for the interception, and you just saw it, right? You saw the emotion come out. You saw how excited he was. So I thought it was good for him to get in there. And then I tell you what, G-Man, like some of those young guys who got in the game, it was amazing. You know, it was truly amazing to sit there and watch them play football. And you know, the one memory I have is Coach Rule on the headset. You know, he was up looking at the time. He's looking at the scoreboard and said, "Hey, I want to make sure I get these guys in the game." And with all the things going on, you know, you can imagine, hey, what's the next play? Down a distance, what are we doing? What personnel? All this kind of stuff. He has like just the foresight to be like, hey, I see it. We're up here. We're doing this. This is time. Hey, start getting these guys in the game. I want to see Maverick Noonan in the game. I want to see Ish in the game. Put David in the game. You know, Ashton Murphy, all these guys in the game. And, man, just watching them, just standing out there watching them play, Ramir Stewart and his interception, Ish and Maverick hitting in the backfield. I tell you, it was just fun to watch all those guys go play.
That's cool. You had 2 picks. You mentioned Malcolm's. Then it was Ramir Stewart. You told a good story at your press gathering yesterday. Mm-hmm. This was a guy that was not part of the 120 when August began. Worked his way back on, got himself up to the 2 deep, and then makes a play. But you appreciated the way he bounced back from a play that went against him earlier in the game. Yeah. Lay that out again for us.
Had no idea. You know, we went back and looked at the explosive passes, you know, and really hate to give up explosives. So went back and watched it, and it was a 3-by formation, and the number 3 receiver ran across his face and beat him, and so they threw him the ball, right? So a couple plays later, they flipped the formation, and they caught us in the same coverage and same play, and he tried to run across his face, and he felt it, and he was hip to hip, and then he undercut it, and he intercepted the ball. Now, again, that's a great redemption story for him. Like you said, G, not being in the 120, coming over here late, working himself into position, you know, one, mentally wise to get to know what to do, physically wise, losing the weight, getting himself in shape, and then to go in there and perform the way he did and self-correct, that was big time. But now, you know, the guys are giving him a hard time because he should have taken it back for a touchdown. Yeah. He let the worst athlete on the field tackle him, so don't let him live it down. It was a great interception, but we need that in the house, you know what I mean?
Score points.
Score points. We need to.
Yeah. Folks, working together, Central Valley Ag unites with our farmers to feed our hungry planet. Take your seat at the table at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. Tony White with us for the hour. If you want to be a part of the program with a text, 402-413-2400. You get to play so many different guys, and I know you probably didn't work with all those guys during the week. You probably had to get pretty bland late in the game with your calls because some guys probably weren't quite sure what some of the plans were.
Greg, at one point in time, okay, I think we looked up on defense, and there might not have been a guy out there that had actually taken defensive reps. You know what I mean? Now, the great thing about the way we do things here is those guys who go down to the scout teams, I mean, they're working against the number 1 offense, number 1 and number 2 offense. So they're going up every day, you know, sharpening their skill set, getting ready to play, you know. So coach is always harping on that. Coach is always, show them clips during the practice, make sure the guys see other guys work and doing things the right way. So when their time comes, you're ready to play. Well, lo and behold, first game, coach is like, hey, get out there. So we looked up and there's guys out there playing that were like, hey, they have not run this defense in a while. You know what I mean? So coach was like, hey, figure it out, make it work. And so we called some calls and let the guys play. And like I said, Ish tackle for loss, Maverick Noonan tackle for loss. You see guys running around in there pinching and tackling. You see guys covering. Noah Buster, Grant Buddha on the tackle out there, man. Like, it was fun. And it was the smiles on their faces, man. That's priceless. So it was a good experience.
Yeah, I'm sure as a coach, that's got to be a rewarding thing to see that guys that maybe haven't even thought about a certain formation or a call in 2 or 3 weeks remembered it enough to go execute it. There you got to be going. Our messaging is getting home.
It is culture of execution, and that's just it's just a process, and that was a reaffirmation of, hey, look, the process works. So you know what? Let's continue to embrace it, live it every day.
Love it. Good stuff. Hey, folks, contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. All right, a couple of texts have come in. We'll get to those on the other side of the break. 402-413-2400. A lot more with Coach White coming up.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Another great harvest thanks to Pioneer brand corn.
Just a few questions.
Who are you?
Kim Colonel, Ag Sports News. I've been chasing your combine for a while. How does it feel getting 10 more bushels per acre over last season?
It feels great. Couldn't have done it without Pioneer. It's America's #1 corn brand.
And there you have it, folks. Live from the field.
Who are you talking to?
Pioneer. Your best year starts here. Learn more at pioneer.com/bestyet.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker black shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentor.
We are recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
For generations, the story of America's farmers has been one of grit, determination, and unwavering faith. Through trials and triumphs, one truth remains. Together, we can do more. Working together, Central Valley Ag unites with our farmers to feed this hungry planet. So take a seat, share your story. At CVA, there's room at the table. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the Polar Bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty you can.
Call 402-391-2336.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker football spring game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
Welcome back to our Husker Football Radio Show, brought to you by Channel. As a farmer, challenges arise daily with the new enhanced Channel seed brand. You can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Welcome back. Tony White, Husker defensive coordinator, with us for the hour. If you want to fire off a text, 402-413-2400, or if you want to pop a question into the chat room on our YouTube stream, I'll be checking that throughout the hour as well. John in Omaha said, Coach, I used to get so frustrated at the whiffs when it came to Husker tackling, but since you took over, it is so refreshing to see the way we tackle and how many white helmets we have around the football. Keep it up, go big red. How much emphasis do you guys put on tackling every practice?
Every day. I mean, that's the first thing we do as a defense, is what we call dominant contact. And I think the person that doesn't get enough credit for it is Coach Rule. Like, I've been around some coaches that say they want to do things and, hey, we want to be a good tackling defense, all that kind of stuff, and and you don't see it applied, But I said this the other day that everywhere Coach Rule has been, he's had elite defenses, and being around him now for the year, you understand why. You understand that the process. I mean, he creates an environment where you have to be good. You have to do those things, And so he allows us to thud. He's always constantly preaching dominant contact and tracking the near hip and making sure that everything we do, those are the two things that we're doing as well as run to the football, So I think, again, as long as Coach Rule is here, he's going to have teams that tackle well and run to the football.
A lot of coaches are afraid if you do too much of that in practice, you're going to get guys hurt and out, not there for the game. You guys have started to wear those guardian caps now at practice. What's the benefit of putting those on during practice?
Oh, 100%. I believe all in. Believe they're just another cushion for those kind of incidental head collisions. And so sometimes you don't, a coach says it too, you don't really hear the pads popping, so you think it's, hey, are we being soft today? Are we not getting after today? But in reality, a lot of the times it's the Guardian helmets, preventing helmet-to-helmet contact, which is the whole purpose of it, right? Keep the student athletes healthy. So true fan of them.
Guys have any problems adjusting to putting those on?
No. I think you know what? I don't even see the Guardian anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see it as a Guardian anymore. And I'd advocate that. I mean, most people, well, why wouldn't you play games in them? Why wouldn't you mandate that for all the little league teams? Making sure that they stay safe that way. So,
a couple things we did see Saturday was you had a fluorescent shirt on underneath your top. Yeah. What's the story behind that?
Tell you what, Matt Rule football camps. Again, you just sit back and listen and take notes and stuff, and it's just amazing. Like, so we got those camps in the summer, and we wear them for safety, so that way kids can identify who's staff and who's not. With everybody wearing in shirts and in polos and stuff, it'd be hard to know. So one day I was just out of practice, and I wore it, and I was signaling. And the guys came back and said, it was, Jamari, Nash, and Ty, those guys. They said, hey, we can see you very easily on the sideline, Coach. You need to wear that for, the game. And so I, started thinking about it. I'm like, all right. So then I just kept on wearing them anytime, like in the scrimmages in the fall camp, I would wear the neon, thinking, hey, we're training them right now to learn how to catch me with the bright green on. So come game day, we put in all the signalers on defense, put it on, and we didn't have any issues of them finding us right away. So it was a kind of a blessing in disguise.
Seems so simple, but it makes sense.
Makes sense.
If you can pick up because you're out there competing, you got sweat coming in your eyes, probably trying to picture. To just be able to quickly spot you has got to be a huge help.
Huge, because again, all last year, the young men were saying, "Hey, Coach, it's hard to see you," this and that. So I would change the colors, but you got black, but everybody's wearing black. You got white, everybody's wearing white. Red, everybody's wearing red. So just by circumstance, wearing the green shirt, you figured something out that really helps those guys play.
Now, communication in the helmets. Obviously, when we're at home, the crowd's making more noise when your guys are on the field. Mm-hmm. Will that help you more on the road, do you think?
I believe so. I believe now, again, we'll wait to test it here in a couple weeks, but when it's almost impossible. I mean, the offensive guys, we should start a count of penalties for the crowd. I mean, that'd be awesome, because they could not hear. I mean, they could not hear on offense. So we'll wait and see. But in practice, we utilize it, and we go through the motions, the organics of it, to see how we can use it to our advantage.
And you want that crowd roaring.
Oh, we want them roaring. So again, we need a meter, or a count meter, so that gets them geeked up, because they're crazy.
Yeah, and it'll be, I think, a huge factor in Saturday night's game with Colorado. Mm-hmm. Another thing that we observed Saturday was kind of a bit of a celebratory dance.
Oh.
Flapping of the wings. I don't quite know how to describe it when the guys came off. Is this kind of a new trend, and who can we credit this to?
Yes. Again, it always starts at the top. So Coach Rule had this idea of putting Troy Vincent in charge of takeaways, the takeaway culture.
Okay.
And so during fall camp, Troy would do a great job of coming up with presentations, right? Showing guys taking the ball away, showing interceptions, strip attempts, all that kind of stuff, reaching for sacks, all that kind of stuff. And then there was a moment where he wanted to highlight the guys who were in position to do it and did not take advantage of the opportunities. So we would show that, and have music and all this kind of stuff. Well, at the end of those meetings, it kind of took on a culture of itself, where it was like, hey, you know what? This is what we want to do around here, and so we need to do it. So the guys were getting geeked up. They had a song that they would play. They had a song that they would play with it, and so like the guys would do the dance to the song, and so. I don't know how it ended up in the stadium, but I heard the coach said, hey, when we take the ball away, you're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear the horn that you hear at practice for a takeaway, and then you're gonna hear the song. And sure enough, the guys went crazy, and the coaches and the whole sideline who knew. Yeah, it was cool. So that's again, just creating that little culture within the culture of this is what we want to do. Let's celebrate it. Let's be about it, and let's take off.
Fantastic. Love that story. Good stuff right there. All right, time for this week's Alumni Hall Husker Football Alumni of the Week. Because we're playing Colorado Saturday, we're going to go back and pick off a great play by a black shirt in the 1994 game, which, by the way, that team is going to be honored here in Lincoln this weekend, 30th anniversary of their national championship. So here is this week's Alumni Hall Husker Alumni.
Fourth man, 7 yards to go. Snap to Stewart. Makes the give. Wants to throw. They sack him. They got him back at the 50-yard line. It was Dante Jones and Eddie Stewart.
Ed Stewart, who has gone on and done some great things in his career, a Big 12 official there making the play against Colorado. Ed Stewart, our featured alumni here in Alumni Hall. They are your ultimate Husker shopping experience with the largest and best selection of apparel, vault gear, and tailgate accessories. Shop their 2 Lincoln locations or alumnihall.com, Alumni Hall, where Huskers shop. Going to be great to see the 94 Huskers back here in Lincoln this weekend. A lot more with Coach coming up. Keep those texts rolling in, 402-413-2400. Back with more next.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you can use that money towards going to see your favorite team in the playoffs. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can go see your favorite team in the playoffs. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but we cannot guarantee that your favorite team will make the playoffs or even finish with a winning record. They could easily lose more than half their games and finish in the cellar because they stink badly and haven't made the playoffs in years. Savings? Very possible. Playoffs? Highly doubtful. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates, not available in all states. We cannot be held liable for your favorite team's terrible and frankly embarrassing performances now or ever.
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
O'Reilly.
Eliminate carbon and varnish deposits with Lucas Fuel Treatment at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Simply add it to your tank at your next fill-up. A clean fuel system can increase performance and fuel economy. Right now, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for just $9 and get 2 times O Rewards points. In-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Still using that old, outdated office phone system? You need better. At Hamilton, we offer solutions for the modern office. Whether you have an office full of staff or your employees work remotely and are on the go, seamless call handling is important. Elevate your communication and connect seamlessly with clients and staff with Hamilton Business Phone Systems. Choose better and hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
We're back on the Nebraska Football Radio Show for the week, brought to you by Channel. As a farmer, challenges arise daily. With the new enhanced Channel seed brand, you can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Defensive coordinator Tony White with us for about 15 more minutes. Matthew, coach in our YouTube chat room, wants to know if Nebraska is utilizing any sort of AI technology when self-scouting, analyzing practice, or analyzing opponent films.
You know what? I know we have a lot of programs, you know, that run all the numbers, do all that kind of stuff. We have our, what we call it the ARC, the walkthrough room where we integrate all the film and the walkthrough cards and all that kind of stuff. So I don't want to say actual AI. Yeah, that part.
It may be coming.
It may be coming. I don't know. Pretty soon, I may. Who knows? AI might be calling plays pretty soon. I have no idea. So we'll see.
Yeah. Technology is always part of it, and you have to try to stay on the cutting edge. And I think we do a pretty good job around here kind of staying on the cutting edge of a lot of good things.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, like, again, that the ARC is something completely different. You know, we utilize that pretty much every day. I mean, from specialist to old lineman to the whole defense, whole offense. I mean, it's a game changer.
Your tackles were really spread out because you played so many guys on Saturday. I mean, Malcolm and Mackay had 5 each, but Vincent Shavers had 3. The true freshman who's caught your guy's eye, I think, from day one when he walked on campus.
Yeah, you can. I mean, the first thing you realize about Vince is he is so passionate, man. He's a young man that you root for. You know, he loves football. He loves the guys he's around. He just loves Nebraska, and so when he steps in the room, you know, we call him V9. So when he steps into the room, he lights everybody up. He just got this persona, this energy that you gravitate towards. So it was fun to watch him run around and get his first taste of collegiate football.
The guy that had a sack Saturday was Mason Goldman, calling his name. He had 2 tackles in the game, both solo tackles. You're going to be proud of him?
Oh, really proud. I mean, because, you know, the crazy thing about Mason is, you know, he's been battling some injuries here and there and stuff like that. So he had just come back from the injury and working himself back to being strong and everything. And so to get him in the game and to watch him play football and to make those plays, it was a really good sack too, because he had to defeat the block and he actually came back to make the sack. Again, it just gives confidence to those guys that the process is working and to just keep on doubling down on it, you know.
Good stuff. Text question for you, Coach. Can you give us an update on Javen?
Jay Wright?
Jay Wright.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing the things that he needs to do to make sure that he's healthy enough to go back out on the field. So, you know, again, coach is all about his health, you know, number one, and never want to compromise that. You know, him being a healthy individual for a long time. So right now he's getting all that he can get done, so that way we can see and hope for a speedy return.
All right, we got about a little over 10 minutes left in the show. Let's kind of turn it now to Colorado. Tremendous challenge. Shedeur is one of the top, if not the best quarterback in the country this year in college football. Pretty savvy player. Just describe him and the challenges he will pose the Black Shirts on Saturday.
Yeah, gee, you said it really savvy. You know, he's a guy who he knows where he wants to go with the football. He's got a system around him that allows him to identify coverages. You know, he's got playmakers out there all around him. And it seems like he's got the freedom to check plays if he sees something. Again, like you said, talent-wise is one thing. He truly is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. But I think mentally-wise, that's where he really gains a lot of respect from me. Is like he sees football. You know, he knows football. He sees football, and so it'll be a great challenge.
Are they different to defend this year compared to last year, or are there similarities to what you've seen?
No, they're similar.
Yeah.
They're very similar. You know, I think that they have maybe created some different ways that they want to attack people. You know, attack coverages, get guys one-on-one. You know, see stuff. Especially, I think what's helped them, the green dot has helped them, because now, you know, last year I think Shedeur was relying on his eyes and stuff to see and pre-snap and everything, and now he's got somebody talking to him in the headset, you know, from the box as well, reassuring him of those looks. So again, it's going to be a challenge, but you know, we just got to make sure that we handle our business.
And it's not just him. He's got a bevy of wide receivers that are all really good, including Hunter. We were talking about Travis before we went on the air tonight about what a rare specimen to be able to play both sides of the football. He only missed 2 plays in their opener with NDSU. He's just a really special football player.
Yeah, you said it best right there, man. Guys like that don't come around very often. I remember my era. I remember seeing Charles Woodson do that, you know, and see the things he was able to do on a great team, and it was unbelievable back then, you know, and so. You've had guys who have stood out, maybe like on special teams and offense, or special teams and defense. But in order to do things he's been doing offensively and defensively wise, he's a special talent.
How much, you know, you've got to give Shedeur a bunch of different looks, but you also got to be protective of the back end. That's got to be probably a big challenge for you for the week.
Yeah, I mean that is the challenge. You know, they got playmakers. They want to get the ball to in space. You know, they want to challenge you downfield vertically. You know, they got the looks. If they got a certain look, they'll be able to check into certain plays, you know, to try to exploit the coverage you're playing. So, again, man, this is what you coach for. This is what you come to Nebraska for, to be part of rivalries like this, games like this.
Jim in Columbus wants to know, Coach, who on the scout team has been representing the Colorado quarterback this week?
Oh, man. Shoot, everybody. I mean, we've had coaches. We've had Adam DeMichael out there throwing balls. We've had everybody, you know, and Coach is great. You know, the way the practices are set up, you know, we get a chance to go against our offense giving us looks as well. So, you know, we get a chance to go up against a damn good quarterback every day as well. So, you know, again, it's just handling our business, what we do, our process, and getting ready for the game.
Colorado uses a lot of tempo. You saw tempo with UTEP, and I gotta imagine that we talked about it a few minutes ago. The crowd can mess that up a little bit. If the crowd's making noise and they can't get their checks, then that slows them down a little bit.
I'm going to advocate right now. We need the counter. We need something there because truly the 12th man out there, and the more noise, and not only the noise for the offense and they're just them operating, but man, it's just there's an electricity in the air. You know, when you hear the crowd and they're going crazy and the offense can't operate and our guys are starting to jump around and go nuts. I mean, there is something to the fans bringing that electricity to life.
Coach, I don't know that I even mentioned the name Tommy Hill Saturday. I don't know that UTEP even went his direction hardly at all. I guess that's a compliment to him, right?
Yeah, I mean, when they don't throw the ball over there, that's the best compliment you can get, But again, just whether you get 10 balls thrown at you, you get one. The game of football, it always balances out, And so he understands that, he knows that, and as some of the other guys do as well. So we'll see what happens this week.
Yeah, I got to the end of the game and I'm like, I knew he played, but just they didn't go his direction at all. Folks, Dorothy Lynch Homestyle Light and Lean Dressing, endless flavorabilities. 402-413-2400. Keep the text headed this way. We got one more segment with the coach. We'll do that next.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Back on our Husker Football Radio Show for the week, Tony White with us. It's brought to you by Channel. As a farmer, challenges arise daily with a new enhanced Channel seed brand. You can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. rise. Last week was the first time I can ever remember Husker football team was lined up on the west sideline. You thought it made a pretty big difference as far as the temperature as that game went along.
Oh man, it truly was a game changer. You know, I'd like to pregame. I like to walk out there and just kind of get a feel for everything. And so felt it was warm out there, especially on the turf. You know, people don't realize how much hotter it is on the turf. And so went to sit down, and we had these little canopies over the benches for shade, and I didn't get up. I didn't get up for 20, 25 minutes just because it was so much cooler on the shade. And you know, those little things, those are the advantages that really good head coaches, they look for. You know, and so coach moved it over there, thought about it, put those canopies over, and again, that's an idea, trying to get an advantage, putting it on the grass and applying it, and it working. You know, so
very good. Kenlin for you wants to know: do you guys have the defensive drill teaching our tacklers on how to make the proper decision on avoiding hitting a sliding quarterback who's giving himself up? I assume we do that. Is it stressed in practice?
Those situations come up, the ones sliding as well as the ones on the sideline. You know, those are the two biggest ones that come up. You know, and that's really about staying in the moment. You know, some guys get the blind dog and a meat house syndrome where they just see a quarterback and they just run and just trying to hit versus saying, hey, I understand the situation that I'm in right now. You know, I'm going to be more cautious. You know, and so it was good to see. I remember, I think it was last year that Kenny Pickett maybe did the fake slide and take off, and then they outlawed it. So I think now, you know, when you see a quarterback going down, you can really have the comfort to know, like, okay, he's going down. I'm okay. You know, so.
Those things are always big momentum plays.
Huge.
You make a good stop, and all of a sudden, here comes the flag, 15 yards. You might get tossed for targeting. They're just big plays in games.
Yep. I lost a game at my old school like that. Winning, and it's a 3rd down and 17 or something, 3rd down and the quarterback runs down the sideline, and a young man gets pushed into the quarterback on the sideline. They throw the flag. They get the first down. They go down and score and beat us. So those are huge plays. So we're always trying to make the young men stay aware, stay in the moment, understand the situation, and go from there.
And we're all about safety. We all want the game to be safe. We don't want an unfortunate hit with a lead by the helmet. But gosh, it's tough sometimes. You're going full speed to pull yourself off of a tackle. It's got to be a hard thing for defenders.
100%. You know, and that's the thing. You know, you're playing football. You're in the moment. Things are going 100 miles an hour from all directions. You know, you really. That comes back to trusting your training, making sure those guys are in those moments in practice, and using moments to where you can teach and get better, making sure that those show up on the grass.
All right, final thing, couple of things you want to stress between now and kickoff for your defenders to kind of check in their minds that they need to do on Saturday night.
Yeah, I said it earlier, Greg, we need to double down on our process. You know, the process works. We need to make sure that we hydrate. We need to make sure that we go into meetings prepared to take notes and to get one better. We need to make sure that we show up to the weight room to get stronger. We need to make sure that we go out there and do whatever it is we need to do to go out for practice and in the best, you know, physical state of mind, the best attitude that we can have, so that way we can go out there and utilize every rep in practice, you know, whether it's special teams, whether it's indies, whether it's 7-on-7, whether it's team, and just, again, keep doubling down on that process, so that way we build our confidence levels to come to their highest level. So when Saturday comes around, you know, guys are confident, they're playing instinctive football, and they can just let loose.
People said, well, you know, hydrate, it's going to not be as warm, but it doesn't matter necessarily about the temperature, right? And plus, a lot of your guys did not have to play the full game last week.
Nope.
So they may have to play a lot more snaps.
100%. And again, that's just what we do. You know, body weights, hydration levels, just that's what we do, you know, and making sure that the littlest things are still, people are held accountable for those littlest things, because then in the end, that's what it always comes back down to, right? Those littlest things. So
very good. Good luck Saturday.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Tony White, Husker defensive coordinator, with us here for the hour. Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture, and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Huskers and Buffalo, Saturday night, 6:30. Our pregame coverage begins at 2:30 with Husker game day. And then our Hour Sports Highlight coming up on the other side. Come on back. Have some fun with us.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on New York equipment. The best warranty you can.
Call 402-391-2336.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Good evening. I'm David Swotek, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Nebraska, the National Football Foundation, and the College Hall of Fame announced they will honor Frank Solich at Saturday's football game against Colorado. Solich is a 2024 College Hall of Fame inductee and will receive an NFF Hall of Fame on-campus salute presented by Fidelity Investments. Solich had an overall football coaching record of 173 and 101 for a 63.1 winning percentage during his 22 years of coaching between Nebraska and Ohio. The Huskers travel to Sioux Falls, South Dakota this Friday for the first cross-country meet of the season. It is the 13th annual Augustana Twilight Meet at Yankton Trail Park. Last season, the Nebraska women won the Augustana Twilight Meet, while the men finished in third. Husker Berlin Schutz finished as the women's champion last season with a time of 17 minutes and 17.18 seconds in her first collegiate meet. Nebraska women's soccer hits the road for Game 5 tomorrow, all the way to Oregon to face Oregon State. The Huskers are run by 2024 Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week, Sarah Weber. Weber recorded her second hat trick of the season on Sunday against Creighton, making it the 36th hat trick in program history. Nebraska leads the all-time series 2-0 from their games in 2016 and 2018. The match will occur in Paul Lawrence Field at 9 p.m. Central Time. Timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide in Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Dylan gets a snap, gets hit as he throws down the field looking for Nayor, makes a catch inside the 15 to the 10 to the 5, touchdown, Nebraska. Gets a snap, back to throw, steps, throws, intercepted, picked off Malcolm Hartzog at the Nebraska 43-yard line. It's his fourth career INT.
Serve, goes to Laney, good pass there on the side. Rebecca putting dents in the Devaney deck. It's 24-15, all Big Red in the first. Sinks her right hand into it, line drive, cross court. Decent pass by Gibson, gets it back. Back right roll shot by Gibson in the purple top. Nice up by Olivia. Here come the Huskers to slide. Andy Jackson, another rocket off the digging out of here. It's 16-12 Big Red.
Trips to the near side, snap back to Raiola. Step throws toward the end zone for Banks, goes up, makes a catch, and it is a touchdown, Nebraska. Jamal Banks out-leaped a couple of defenders and pulls it in there for 6 points. Lieben trips the fullback. They turn, hand it off to Gabe Irvin, and he is fighting his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of our Wednesday night show here on Sports On. I hope you had a great day today. Huskers getting ready for that Saturday night game against the Colorado Buffalo. So fun to hear Coach White talk about the defense, what a terrific effort they had against UTEP. And really, he's stacking those things together. We talked about some of those things with him in the open that Nebraska's now had held UTEP to 7 points. It's the 8th consecutive opponent Nebraska has allowed less than 24 points in a game. That's the longest stretch for Nebraska since 09-010 with those great Bo Pelini defenses back in those years. They limited UTEP to 205 yards, 8th consecutive opponent to gain less than 400. They're going to need all of that coming up on Saturday night with a really talented offense from Colorado. So good to hear from Coach White tomorrow night. Here's what we have coming up this hour. We're going to do a little spin around the league with the Big Ten Blitz. Looking at a couple of the matchups for the weekend games that are coming up for Big Ten football. We're going to hear from Emmett Johnson a little bit later on as well. But let's start by talking about what was pretty odd and really rare for Husker fans to witness, Jess, and that was the volleyball team last night. It just was not there. And I listened to Coach Cook's post-game show. He was very disappointed in not their effort, but their execution. Just kind of wondered where they were. That was just almost an out-of-body experience for that team.
Yeah, they just didn't look like they were ready to play and fired up. And, you know, we were texting about it throughout the match. And I don't know, we've talked a lot about this, even going back to January, February, when this team started to get back together and they had beach season. I mean, for everybody coming back, it's a different team, a different feel. I mean, you think about where we were this time a year ago. Yes, we had the volleyball match, and they burst out on the scene, and it's Nebraska volleyball. They're always going to be one of the perennial powers that everybody's chasing, but everybody on the outside world were saying, oh, they're probably a year away, right? And you have all these young freshmen, and I think that really they had a chip on their shoulder. They came out, boy, they were fiery every single time, and I don't know if we saw that last night, and again, just my observation, and then maybe a little bit even to the point going back to Saturday. And Coach Cook had said that he felt like this might be coming, going back to the match against Saturday, or against TCU on Saturday. But yeah, it just didn't seem like they were focused. I mean, Lauren had talked about some of how they were hitting and where they were hitting, and just all the different errors that were being made. It just didn't seem like a team that was really ready to go. And Coach Pettit put out a tweet today. I need to pull it up, but it was talking about just the parity in college volleyball, how much it's grown. And so I know there were a lot of people that were like, oh, well, that was an unranked team. And yes, it's not a good loss, but still you could tell they had some talent. The ACC is very deep, so I feel like there's more parity, and teams are going to be better and more equipped to handle the Huskers, and there's just a target on the back. And I understand that there always is, but I think it's even more so now with all the attention that's gotten, the E60 documentary, the going to the championship, all that, and everybody's going to be out to beat Nebraska this year. You got to be ready to go every single match.
The service errors were bad last night, and then just kind of the dinking instead of going for kills. And Lauren even asked Coach, her dad, in the postgame about what was that about, and he goes, yeah, what was that about? He goes, I kept telling him, you got to swing away. We can't just keep dinking our way to get back in this match. We got to swing our way out of this thing. And so there was kind of a hesitancy about this team. And we're just into early September. We got a long, long way to go.
Yeah.
There's so many matches still ahead. They're playing tomorrow night at the Devaney Center against the Citadel, so they don't have to sit and stew on that one too long. But you hope it's a wake-up call. You hope it's kind of like, okay, we got to shake out of this a little bit, because that was, like you said, you go back to the TCU match on Saturday, that was not real effective at times in that match either. So you don't want one match to turn into 2, turn into 3, turn into 4. You want to correct it.
Yeah, I by no means am hitting the panic button by any means, and when we had Kelly Hunter on the dig on Monday, she had talked about, too, just trying to figure out, there's still a lot of moving parts that are going on here to start this season. There's a lot of players and rotations and figuring out where they want to play who and what and when. And so I think they just maybe haven't gotten into a rhythm as much either. And so, and that consistency of being able to know the lineups and all of that. And so there's just, a lot to figure out. But, hey, and even going back to also that conversation with Kelly about Merritt hasn't been Merritt, the typical Merritt, and that connection is a little off with Bergen. And so they made the decision. They went and took the initiative to say, hey, we got to figure this out. What can we do? And so they did some extra work. But, I think it's just working some kinks out. And it's a different feel than where you were a year ago. And so you can't rest on what you did a year ago. And they know that better than anybody. I just think it's probably you got to approach it differently. And I know they, too, also, which will be fascinating. I'm sure Coach Cook will talk about it, but they do a lot of the culture building stuff and talking with some experts and making sure that they're implementing that. And, they have had a couple different people come and talk to the team. So, just continuing to build that culture and connect as a team. And it doesn't just because you got everybody back from a year ago doesn't mean it just automatically carries over, because you've got new pieces and different parts that you're adding and figuring out. So look, the talent's there, it's undeniable, but I think they were punched in the face and didn't respond last night. And I think Coach Cook even said that in his post-match interview. But they got to be able to respond, because I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to come out swinging against Nebraska, and you got to be able to handle that.
He was not afraid to call out the two captains, Lexi and Merritt. You talked about Merritt. He goes, they were both making service errors. He goes, those are our captains. So it starts with them. They've got to set the tone. And so I'm sure they had a stern talking to today. I don't even know if they practiced today. At some point they have to have a day off because they play tomorrow against the Citadel. But I would expect a spirited effort for them tomorrow night. 6 o'clock, by the way, first serve, not 7. 6, our pregame coverage here on the HRN begins at 5 o'clock. Isn't it so fun to listen to Coach White? I just love listening to him. He's got such a, I think, a really even keel approach to coaching college football, and I think his demeanor is perfect to be a coordinator.
Perfect.
And eventually to be a...
I thought you were going there, which, I mean, look, we know that that's inevitable. I mean, even Coach Roll has said that. He's certainly got all the tools and like you said, the demeanor and just how he is, how he handles people. He absolutely can be a head coach. And now maybe, you know, again, I think you and I have talked a lot about this too, and even back to when he was in some conversations, that now's the time to be a little bit picky and making sure that you are going to a program that's set up for the future with the changing landscape of college football. But I think it won't be long before he will be able to get to one of those programs that are in the good trajectory of this thing. But he's fascinating. Great to, even during breaks and stuff, just chatting with him. He's just an unbelievable human being. And I think, again, that trickles down. You hear him giving a lot of credit to Coach Roll. And, you know, just the culture that's in place with this Husker football team. There's a lot of good people and genuine people, and they're so great to work with day in and day out. And it goes from the top down, and just the players are just, I mean, I sat down with Jamal Banks today for the Cornhusker conversation, and, you know, he had a couple other things that he had to do, so we pushed back the time. He was coming straight from life skills, and so we got him in right away because he had something else that he had to be at. And so, but after the interview, he stopped and he introduced himself to Kirk Hartman, who was running the camera, and then Brendan, who's another guy that helps us out, and he wanted to chat with him, and what do you do? And just, you know, getting to know him and wanting to understand, you know, what their role is, and so it was just neat how genuinely invested he was and wanting to get to know those people. So you know, that's how it is, and I think Tony White is absolutely fits perfectly with all of that. It's what it is. It's what this program is and the culture that it is, and it's why another one of those reasons why I believe it's going in the right direction, going to get there in a hurry.
It'll be fun Saturday night here. In the chat room, people said you and your Sideline Slice, which dropped today, we'll play part of that for you on Friday's show, that you alluded to some special events around the game. They wanted to know if you were willing to share.
I don't think I'm allowed to.
All right, okay.
Pass
on the message here.
I think I can give you this. I think this is pretty well known. The fourth quarter light show is happening, and there's going to be some special things around that. That's going to be fun again. I think we all know that the 94 national championship team is being honored.
Coach Solich is being honored.
Yeah. I think they're gonna they're honoring the volleyball team.
Mm-hmm.
There's some certain things that are happening around those events that
good.
You know, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe
tune in for more.
Maybe a couple other things that if I get the okay to announce. But
Mike wanted to know if you were ready to share some more insight. So
I don't know. Have you heard? Are we allowed to say?
I think you gave him enough.
Okay. All right.
I think you gave him enough right there. All right, folks. When we come back, we're going to do our Big Ten Blitz for the week, presented by Groundworks. They are the official foundation company of the Huskers. We're back to take a little spin around the conference. We'll do that next.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker football spring game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
For almost 50 years, Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont has been more than just a dealership. We're a family dedicated to serving yours. Shop Nebraska's #1 volume Buick GMC dealer for the new car, truck, or SUV to fit your needs. We're also your GMC Business Elite dealer for commercial vehicles. Visit us at SidDillonBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Sid Dillon.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Husker fans, visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
IT issues wreaking havoc on your day? It's time to hire the experts. It's time to hire Hamilton. When it comes to your business, you don't have time to worry about network security, data backup, and protection, or support when devices slow down or stop working. At Hamilton, we ensure that your technology is up to speed and works as hard as you do. Don't let IT issues slow you down. You deserve better. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
We're back inside of our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Wednesday night, coming up upon another big college football weekend, we like to do a little tour around the league. Middle of the week, we call it the Big Ten Blitz.
This is the Big Ten Blitz. Ohio State.
And here to talk about the Buckeyes, Clay Hall is with the Ohio State Radio Network. Ohio State coming off of a 52-6 win over Akron last week. Clay, I just kind of want your thoughts about how the Buckeyes looked. I know some people, when they saw the halftime score, thought, whoa, this wasn't very impressive. The final score sure got that way. What did you make of their opening game of the year?
Yeah, slightly slow start. A couple of jitters there from J.R. Smith, Jeremiah Smith, the great freshman wideout. But he certainly got it cranked up a little later with the quarterback, Will Howard. And, yeah, I think it was 35-0 in the second half. So, yeah, they're fine. The only bugaboo a little bit was offensive line. They had some guys out who missed camp or parts of camp with viruses, and so it was kind of mix and match. So they hope to have all those people back this weekend against Western Michigan.
You mentioned Will Howard, the Kansas State transfer. I know it's kind of the same way, right? A little bit of a slow start, but it seemed like he really got the hot hand as that game rolled along.
He did, and he just has, I think he has it. He has some gamesmanship. A lot of games under his belt at K-State. Throws it well, took off, had a great little scamper for a first down that got the Buckeyes inside the 10-yard line. I think they're pleased with his start. 17 of 28, 228 through the air and 3 touchdowns. And as I said, he's certainly willing to use the feet and the legs as well.
All right, let's jump ahead to this week. Here comes Western Michigan, who really put up a pretty good fight in Madison last week against Wisconsin. And my guess is that may have got the Buckeyes' attention that, hey, this team pushed a pretty good Big Ten team. Your thoughts about this matchup with Western Michigan?
Yeah, it's a couple of MAC teams back-to-back. And when Ryan Day was asked on Tuesday, it was more about, hey, let's take care of ourselves. Let's concentrate on ourselves. Let's get better every single game. And, yeah, they respect every opponent, and that's the same with the Broncos. Though they don't row the boat anymore, I'm sure they'll get here right on time and ready to take on one of the country's top teams. You would think Ohio State would be a little bit more in sync this week. They always say that most improvement comes from week 1 to week 2.
Buckeyes hosting Western Michigan, 6:30 Central on BTN. Clay Hall, we appreciate the insight. Have a great call tonight.
Thanks so much.
Illinois.
And here to talk about the Illini, Steve Kelly of the Illinois Network. Illinois with an impressive 45-0 blanking of Eastern Illinois in their opening game. And, Steve, I got to feel that Brett Beal and the staff really happy with their opening game of the season.
Yeah, I think they were. There wasn't a whole lot to nitpick about. Eastern, of course, an FCS opponent, not to the level of a Big Ten team, but they were a pretty good team, and they had a lot of guys coming back from a team that was 8-3 and just missed making the playoffs at that level. But they had a drive going and fumbled, and after that, Illinois just took control. Luke Altmaier with 4 touchdown passes, all in the first half. Illinois led 31-0 at the half, and then kind of cruised from there, and now they got some work to do, maybe some payback to number 19 Kansas, who comes to town.
Well, anytime you shut somebody out, you got to feel good about the defense, and I know this is year 2 for the coordinator. That had to give them some confidence to feel like they can shut out a team.
It did. There was a big question about some of the guys they lost, including 2 guys they called the law firm around here, Newton and Randolph, Johnny Newton and Keith Randolph, both in the NFL now. So that was a loss, and they did okay. They held Eastern in check and handled things there, and a couple of young defensive backs got some playing time. So this will be a much different test, though, this week.
No doubt. Here comes the nationally ranked Jayhawks, and these 2 teams played in Lawrence a year ago. Okay, you got the better half of that, although if I remember right, Steve, the second half was better for Illinois than the first. Size this one up for us and give me some keys as you look at this matchup with Kansas.
Yeah, they fell behind 21-7, and had just scored that touchdown and thought, oh, okay, right before halftime. But then in about 30 seconds, Kansas went down and scored before the half, made it 28-7. They then led 34-7 before Illinois picked up a couple of TDs late to make it respectable 34-23. Kansas is about a touchdown favorite, and that's probably not a surprise. Illinois will have their first sellout since 2016 in the Lovie Smith first season of his era here against North Carolina, so it should be a good atmosphere. Illinois will try to run the ball. Obviously, they've got Caden Fagan back at the tailback slot. He had 108 yards and 16 carries last year. He's a big 6'3", 250-pound running back who gets out pretty good, and they've got some good depth at that position. But I think both offenses will be able to move the ball. It'll be which defense steps up to make the most stops.
Love hearing it sold out. That'll be a fun atmosphere. Night game under the lights. Illinois hosting Kansas, 6 o'clock Central on FS1. Steve Kelly of the Illinois Network. Steve, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Always my pleasure, Greg. Thank you.
Oregon.
And here to talk about the Oregon Ducks, Eric Skopel of 24/7 Sports. Oregon, a 24-14 winner last week over Idaho. Eric, I think a lot of people expected a much wider margin. What was your takeaway from the victory over the Vandals?
I think about everything that went wrong kind of went wrong. I guess I should say everything that could go wrong kind of went wrong. In a game where I think objectively it was probably somewhat easy to overlook the first opposition. You know, when you're playing an FCS team to start a season, sometimes maybe that doesn't translate to the most motivated approach. I think we saw some of that. Like, you know, the box score tells a little bit of a different story in terms of how dominant Oregon was in that game, in terms of yardage, in terms of drives, in terms of the ability to actually stop Idaho, who scored on a couple of trick plays. But I think there are some pretty glaring areas of concern now that felt kind of present on the periphery entering the game, that I think you now exit feeling like, okay, like, is their offensive line play going to be good enough this year to do the things this team wants to do? You know, will they be able to push the ball downfield with the regularity and consistency they've been able to in the past seasons where this offense has really been clicking? You know, they didn't run the ball very effectively in this game. The offensive line made a lot of mistakes. There's a couple players coming back from injury that could help shore some of that up in the next couple of weeks, but I think you left the Idaho game feeling, okay, it's a win, but also feeling like how many more games are they going to be able to win with kind of some deficiencies up front on offense, and with, I think maybe almost even more surprisingly, the inability to throw the ball down the field despite having very electric and explosive and dynamic wide receivers.
What was your grade card on Dylan Gabriel's performance?
I thought he played pretty well. Now, a couple things are worth noting with Dylan here. 41 for 49. That's very, very high volume to have against an FCS opponent. I think we, going into the week, had a prop of like 25 Gabriel this game, and I think we all picked the under, just thinking Oregon should be in control of this game. You should be able to get Dante Moore, Austin Novosad, the two backups. One of those guys should probably play a fair amount in the second half. That didn't happen. And I think the thing with Dylan, which was probably somewhat by design, but probably all we'd like to see a little bit of tinkering with, is, you know, this offense is built around timing and short, routes. And at times, you know, even last year, there was a perception nationally that Oregon did throw the ball down the field. And I think there's some truth to that in terms of like the average depth of target, but Bo Nix was still able to and desired to stretch the ball, the field, I should say, with deep passes. And we saw very, very little of that on Saturday. I think that was probably the thing you came away and you go, okay, he completed 84% of his passes. He threw for almost 400 yards. These are all, you know, nice benchmarks, but I think when you kind of peeled the layers back, you went, but weren't these kind of all pretty, you know, high degree or low degree of difficulty pass attempts? And weren't they kind of part uncontested, you know, targets because they're taking the easy money, which has been one of the offensive coordinator Will Stein's kind of push for all offseason, which is, you don't put the ball in jeopardy if you can find easy completions that can go for 5 to 6 yards. You know, that's acceptable. It's better than an incompletion or an interception. But I think at times you would have liked to see maybe a little bit more desire to take some risks. And I know that's something they talked about even coming out of this one of wanting to try to find ways to kind of uncork more of those deep passes.
Eric, this week it's Boise State. These two have quite a history. Boise put up over 50 last week at Georgia Southern. Break this one down for us.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Boise State's been a team, and that, you speak to the history. Like Oregon's played 3 times against Boise State, and they've never won. And a couple of them have been in very, I would say, emotional kind of circumstances where, like, you come out of the game kind of being like, I really don't like that team. You know what I mean? Like, from an Oregon perspective, like, LeGarrette Blount punched Byron Hout after a game in 2009 because they had an exchange after the game as a Boise State win. The year after that, Boise State knocked out Oregon starting quarterback with a cheap shot you can go find on the internet, and you'd say, yeah, that's pretty outside the lines of what you want to do, and Boise State ended up rolling. And so, you know, it's been a while since these teams have played. They played in 2017 in a bowl game where a lot of key players, I think, for both teams didn't play. This will be the first time where, you know, it's a regular season game in over a decade, and it's a year where both teams are seen as teams that could win their conference and play for, you know, maybe play into the first college football playoff with the, you know, 12 teams. So I think there's a lot of anticipation for the matchup on, and then when you peel back the layers and look at kind of some of the names to know for both teams, there's a lot of really good players that'll be playing in this game. Ashton Jensen, you just pull up the stats in the box score, you'd be able to tell he's a really good player. Ran for over 260 yards and 6 touchdowns in their opener last week. But you watch him play, this is every bit an NFL running back, and a player that Oregon definitely has to be keyed in on. And again, you know, I guess the one saving grace here for Oregon is, you know, you come out of a game where you weren't very impressive. Well, the area they were most impressive was up the line of scrimmage on defense, where this is one of the better defensive lines the school has produced. They've the portal, they've developed talent through recruiting, and really put together an impressive defensive. And so you kind of look at it and go, well, Boise State's probably victory here is just running the ball down Oregon's throat, and there's going to be a fair amount of opposition on the Oregon side there. But the other thing is the line of scrimmage on the other side. Oregon's offensive line didn't play very well in the opener, and Boise State has some difference makers on its defensive line and off the edge, and is very versatile in terms of, it sounds like, kind of mixing up looks. So I think it's a really interesting matchup. I think Oregon is rightfully favored. We'll see. That's still a game where Vegas thinks it's going to be a 3-score game, and I think if Oregon's able to show a little bit more offensively and kind of win with, you know, a convincing margin, I think there'll be a little bit of maybe that first game was just kind of a weird game, keep players out. But if this is a close game where Oregon loses, that's a big turn, because, you know, we haven't really talked about it, but this has been a season that was built to be really special for Oregon. It's been externally stated, that's been internally stated. You know, this is supposed to be one of the better teams Oregon's had maybe ever. And, you know, when you start a game the way they start a season the way they did, you certainly kind of open yourself up to some, okay, what's going on here? Because it seems like everybody was pretty confident this was going to be a really good team. Are they?
We will know more after Saturday night. Oregon hosts in Boise, 9 o'clock Central on Peacock. Eric Scopel of 24/7 Sports. Eric, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Anytime. Appreciate it, guys.
Eric and all of our contributors appear with us on our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. When we come back, Jessica will rejoin us as Sports Nightly rolls along here on a Wednesday night.
Hi, this is Rex Burkhead, and I'm asking you to donate to the Team Jack Foundation to support childhood brain cancer research. Your contribution fuels the discovery of new treatments, enhancing children's lives and improving survival rates. Childhood brain cancer is a serious issue in Nebraska, where we rank number 7th nationally in incident rates. Every dollar brings us closer to a cure and a brighter future for these brave kids. Make a difference today by visiting teamjackfoundation.org to donate. Go Big Red.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
Husker fans, Visit a participating AGCO dealer now until November 1st and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets and pregame hospitality passes to the Nebraska versus Wisconsin football game on November 23rd in Lincoln. See your True Turf and Ag locations in Osmond, Columbus, and Falls City, Osceola Implement, and Kearney Equipment to enter for your chance to win this season.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
I have reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubig here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty you can.
Call 402-391-2336.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Folks, go support childhood brain cancer research by donating to the Team Jack Foundation. Your contribution funds life-saving research for new teammates and offers hope to children and families. Donate today at teamjackfoundation.org. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you here on a Wednesday night. Rudy in Florida on our text line with a marvelous suggestion about letting Jessica sing the national anthem Saturday.
First of all, why would he have that thought? And then why would you think that's a marvelous suggestion? Because that would be awful. That I would be booed worse than the girl at the Major League Baseball game.
So you're down for a no on this?
A heck no.
A heck no.
A heck no. I'd be better off if you, so I can kind of play the keyboard a little bit, if you brought me a keyboard out there and I could maybe just poke at the notes than singing it.
Very good.
I cannot sing.
All right,
you
Rudy,
should sing it.
Rudy, it's a no. Yeah, definitely no. So, all right, Jessica had a chance yesterday to catch up with one of the 4 running backs that saw carries or primary carries last week in the game. I know we had more than carried that late in the game, but Emmett Johnson, who broke off one of the longest runs of the year for the Huskers last week. Here's Jessica's conversation with Emmett.
Jessica Coody here with our Old Dominion Freight Line Best in the Game interview. There is lots to choose from, but we're going to give it to the running backs and Emmett Johnson. So, man, how good did it feel to get back out there and to have the offense click in the way that you guys were?
Yes, it felt great to get back out there with those guys, but I give all credit to the O-line, because I couldn't do it without them. The running backs couldn't run the ball well without them. So it felt great to get a win. Most importantly, be back out there with our teammates, and I just can't wait for the next one.
Take me back to the big run, the 42-yarder that set up for the touchdown. What'd you see? And Dylan, did he read a situation? Just take us through the play call, and then what you saw when you saw the open field.
Yeah, Dylan kind of, reconstructed the whole play. He's seen what their defense was in, and he, checked out of it, checked back to it, and then checked back to it again. So he kind of switched up the play like 3 times, and I had an inside zone read where I just, pressed the center and made my cut off of him, and made another cut in the secondary, which is what we practiced. It wasn't anything different other than practice and reps that led to that play. So that's what I'm going to try to bring this year, is being explosive with all my carries, and yeah, that's what happened.
When you got a quarterback like that can see that in game and make those adjustments, how much confidence does that give an entire offense?
It gives the offense a lot of confidence because, Dylan, like I said, he's a freshman, but he's really mature, approaches everything like a pro. So it's great to have somebody like that in the backfield with me as well.
Coach Barthel was talking about for you, it's, some of the steps that you've made is just seeing the vision has grown a lot for you. Has that been different? Did it seem different for you on Saturday, just how you can see things and how things open up?
Yes, it was a lot different. The game is just slowing down now for me. Every day I come in the film, last year, even this year, I watched a lot of the things I got to get better on. And now the game is just slowing down to me, and now it's letting me be more free when I'm out there and be able to, make a lot of explosive plays now.
The 4 running backs that we've heard so much about, yourself included, all contributed in one way or another on Saturday. Over 200 yards rushing. Gabe had a couple of touchdowns. How much pride do you guys take in that as a room, that you're allowed you're over 200 and you're able to continue to contribute to the offense?
Yeah, we expect to dominate in the running back room. I mean, we go hard in practice. Coach EJ pushes us really hard, so we expect to go out there and just let everything out. It's nothing different than what we do in practice, and just trusting our training and going out there running as hard as possible, being great in protection, not just running the ball, being good pass catchers. I take big pride in everything. I'm sure the other guys do too.
All right, looking forward now to Colorado. I know you guys celebrated the 24-hour roll with the win over UTEP, but now going into the game prep, what are you seeing out of Colorado? What are going to be some of the keys for the offense to be able to continue to have success?
I would just say keeping it about us, keeping it about our offense, trusting what we do in practice and just going from there. But just focus on us. It's not really about our opponent. We're going to respect them, but as long as we play Nebraska football, we should be fine.
You excited, though, for the atmosphere night game against Colorado?
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm extremely excited. Last year, the atmosphere was crazy at Colorado. I didn't really play much in that game, but it was just a crazy environment. I love being there. So this year, I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Awesome. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Again, that is Emmett Johnson, our Old Dominion Freightline Best in the Game interview.
Greg, just the conversations with players yesterday and then even after the game, and we heard Coach Rule say it, you know, we understand the magnitude of this matchup for the fan bases, and we're not taking anything Colorado lightly, but it's about us and what we need to do and what we do and how we approach things. And this doesn't make or break our season. And so we've got to continue to move on. Like, we can't wrap an entire season around this one game, but just the way that they were talking about preparing for this in Colorado, it's not about Colorado, it's about us, and we've got to handle our business.
Well put. Hey, Woodhouse, they have been your trusted auto partner every day since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. All right, we'll come back, wrap up tonight's show next.
For generations, hardworking people have relied on Ford F-Series trucks, making them America's best-selling trucks 47 years straight. Introducing the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the 2024 North American Truck of the Year. This is the next generation of Built Ford Tough. See your Ford dealer today and celebrate leadership with special offers on Ford F-Series.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agent Dory Milberger or Darren Frazier in Omaha, or agent Terry Dingwell in Fremont.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Live reports of polar bear on the loose. Man, is it cold enough for a polar bear in here?
Yes, we use SOS. Come on in.
SOS to the rescue! Nebraska defensive lineman Nash Hubbard here. People know me as the polar bear, and when I want to stay cool, I call SOS. Their techs don't make commissions, so they give you an honest opinion, fair pricing, and longer warranties than the competition, guaranteed. Mention the polar bear and get a free 10-year labor warranty on new York equipment. The best warranty you have.
Call 402-391-2336.
Here in Nebraska, we love our teachers. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is teaming up with Husker Athletics to recognize teachers who help students live their best and healthiest lives. Visit huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today to tell us about your favorite Nebraska educator. Winning teachers get a school day visit from Herbie Husker and a VIP experience at the 2025 Husker football spring game, thanks to their biggest fans at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska. Head to huskers.com/touchdown for teachers today.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Here's what's on tap, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. Husker volleyball back on the court tomorrow night at the Devaney Center. It was a classic tournament going on. Huskers will play the Citadel tomorrow and then Montana State Saturday. Tomorrow, first serve, 6 o'clock, pregame coverage with JB and Lauren at 5 o'clock. And then they will play at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon with a 1 o'clock pregame show. Husker football back on the air Saturday against the Colorado Buffaloes, first night game of the year. 6:30 for kickoff, 2:30 for pregame coverage with Husker Game Day. And that's what is on tap, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Carol on our text line said, in my opinion, after observing the departure of, 4 volleyball girls, 2 of which have landed at Penn State, my point, I'm concerned that their departure is going to come back to bite the Huskers big time. To wit, Penn State beat Louisville last night. 2 ex-Husker ladies were mentioned as doing very well. Kayla Connie really hurt Nebraska in the national finals last year playing for Texas. Carol, I don't know that I'm with you on this. I mean, yeah, Caroline Juravicius and Maggie Mendelson are both now with Penn State, but who are they playing ahead of here? I mean, Maggie's a middle. That's Rebecca Alec and Andy Jackson. I mean, they're really good players. They are, but we've got as good a players, if not better, in the program now.
Yeah, that's the thing about this volleyball program is, we heard them say on the broadcast last night, Landy Choboy would be the starting libero anywhere else in the country. That's just the kind of depth and talent that's here, and not taking anything away from Maggie. Maggie, it probably hurt the basketball team more than it did the volleyball team with Maggie leaving. It just goes to show you, Rebecca Alec and Andy Jackson are 2 of the best middles, if not the 2 best middles in the country. And so Layla Blackwell is incredible and has had a hard time getting on the court. And then you look at the outside hitters, and Caroline plays right side, which Merritt Beeson plays right side. And you lose her as a backup to Merritt. But I think that, again, that just goes to show you that there is that much talent that they can go somewhere and contribute. But I don't know if they're the better options than what's there. So taking nothing away from them. And I think Caroline, I know they were excited about her potential, but during this time when she was a freshman and I guess redshirt freshman, it just so happens that she's playing behind Merritt Beeson, who's also one of the best outside hitters in the country.
All-American.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's good they play again tomorrow night?
Yes.
Quick turnaround.
Yeah. I think they'll be pretty hungry. You'd think that they would. You hope that they would. I mean, look, we saw how ticked off they were when they lost. And Harper and Rebecca and the E60 documentary, they probably were. But also, JB and Lauren brought this up last night. I also was kind of thinking this, too. They had talked about the pressure of the wins mounting and then staying unbeaten. Now you take that away. That pressure's gone, and maybe that could help lift a little bit and not have to play it made them play tight sometimes because they're worried, we can't get beat. But hey, that's out the window now. You just got to go play free.
Yeah, I think just get the taste out of your mouth as fast as possible is a good thing. So I think it's good that the schedule comes at them pretty fast with the match tomorrow and then a match on Saturday. And then a big one next week. Creighton, that will be the next big test for the Huskers. What can they do with their rival in the Blue Jays here in a week?
And Creighton will not come in here. They won't be scared at all, and they'll be ready to go. But, here's another thing, though. How many Nebraska wasn't the only top team to get beat over the last few days. Right. So there's, again, just going back to that point about that Coach Pettit posted about just the parity, and there's more talent out there now, and we're getting to the point where if you don't come to play, there's a lot of teams that could knock you off. And so we saw a lot of teams get beat over the last week, and so they're not the only one.
Texas got beat by Minnesota 2 nights ago, and Wisconsin is 0-3. Now, all 3 losses to top 10 teams. I get it, but they're 0-3. That's uncharted waters for them moving forward. So volleyball tomorrow night knocks us off. We'll have a full 2 hours for you on Friday night and get you all fired up and ready for that football game on Saturday with Colorado. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Thanks to David and Henry for steering the ship for us tonight. You all have a great night tonight. Volleyball tomorrow. Back with you again on Friday. Have yourself a good night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at Woodhouse.